Hi everybody, I'm Jack and this is Raw Tropical Living. Thanks for joining me today. A little bit cloudy in my worlds, but that is so nice because we've had a long hot summer. We got a nice rain yesterday. Only the second one. We had one like the day after I got back and then boom. Anyhow, you don't need a weather report from Central America from me. Today we're going to talk about the calorie. Calories are something that a good bit of us have probably talked about a good portion of our lives. Sometimes it seems like it's all about the calorie, and that's what I used to think. I used to think it was simple science, as simple as what was taken in, what's burned out. Which to an extent that's pretty much true, but you know, I don't know, since I've been on this raw vegan journey, I've just found that I don't know that I think of calories the same way. What I'm getting at here is, and this, you know, I know sometimes my messages are probably type frustrating because you're looking for answers, and I might tend to give you more questions, or I might even make it a little less clear to you. But that's basically because you've got to do the work on this. You can't just read information, listen to information, or follow somebody blindly and just do something when it comes to something as important as your health. One of the reasons I have this channel, and I've said over and over and over, and it's one of the things that I feel like there is value in my channel here, is my process. And the fact that I'm trying, I guess what you could say is I'm seeking with an open mind. In other words, I don't have too many things in my head that I'm just like closed off from, you know, without even thinking about or exploring them. And I'm constantly listening to my body. I practice. Since I've come to this lifestyle, I've worked just as much on the specific food I eat, or trying to learn more about nutrients and micronutrients and macronutrients and how much of this and how much of that. I also spend as much time and effort, I believe, in becoming more in tune with my body and being able to listen to the subtleties of my body and to know how to make those small adjustments. So with calories, you know, and the thing is too, is like, I guess, and maybe it's just because I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed, but I'm not ever afraid to say I don't know something, I'm not sure about something. I see so many people out there that talk about calories and how many you need and everything about calories with such certainty. I mean, and don't get me wrong, I totally respect everybody has an opinion out there, but I tend to just start, you know, my eyes roll a little bit when somebody starts preaching a message and they just know this. This is just, you know, how it's supposed to be. This is the law. And frankly, pardon my English here, my language, but I think a lot of them are full of shit, you know, because I don't think all our bodies are exactly the same. You know, we don't metabolize at the same rate. We don't absorb have the same amount of absorption, all of us. We have different amounts of that. And it's just not as simple as one size fits all. And I think people err on both sides. I think there's a lot of people out there that are fooling themselves, and they're fooling themselves mainly because they like to be part of a group, or they like to follow a certain movement or person, leader, guru, whatever you want to call it. And you know, it's kind of like blindly following a religion. When you just get that, when you get that set of the list of the tenets of whatever, you know, type of this lifestyle you're trying to follow, and it's just like, whatever those people say, that's what you do. You don't question it. You haven't tried any of it on yourself. You haven't experimented. It's just that this is my form of doing this, and this is what I do. And you know, I think there's a lot of people out there that are undereating, and I think a lot of people out there that are overeating. The undereating comes from, like I've said many times before, stop worrying about the weight. Stop worrying about the weight. 3 times brings it home. Stop worrying about the weight. There's people out there that are undereating because they're so afraid of losing a pound. Okay, what I would say in the beginning is you're trying to find the amount of calories, the volume of food per day that works for you. Err on the side of eating too much. and you can come down, because you need, when we're eating a vegan lifestyle, especially when a raw vegan lifestyle, we need those calories, we need that volume of food to make sure we're getting in all the nutrients that we're supposed to have. So err on the side of eating too much. Who gives a damn if you gain a pound, if you gain 2 pounds, if you gain 5 pounds? While you're figuring all this out, because you're figuring some good knowledge here. And just don't be so impatient. That frustrates the hell out of me, the people that are just so focused on the weight that everything's about the weight, and they're not putting the health first. And sometimes if they would put the health first, everything would fall into line. They would get healthier, and the weight would drop off because they're doing it correctly. Yeah, there's just so many people out there that are undereating. I'm not going to throw any hard and fast numbers out there, because I see a lot of numbers, and to be quite honest, there's a whole spectrum of people. There's, sometimes people put a single number. Okay, is that number supposed to apply to this female over here that's barely 5 feet tall and weighs 90 pounds, as it does to a guy my size, 6'2", 160 pounds, or 6'2", 180 pounds? No. So you have to see what works with you, but you have to listen. You have to listen to your body with no preconceptions and give it what it tells you to give it. Now, just for a rough number, I don't do any of these things. I guesstimate the hell out of my calories, flat up. I know I eat a ton of bananas, and I kind of give a banana a value of 100 calories. Some are more, some are less. I adjust that. Like sometimes if I'm eating, even in my head, I'm not trying to calculate down to that precise, but I kind of know, okay, I had 10 banana ice cream this morning. Okay, that's probably more realistically like 900 calories, because all these bananas were not all that big, so if I balanced it out. So anyway, I don't even have a precise, but I have a good idea, because I know what a lot of the things, calorie-wise, what the caloric content of a lot of the things that I'm eating, like the mangoes and the, like a salad I had last night. I'm pretty sure, I didn't have very much fat in my salad. Well, I had no fat in my salad, so I had no calories pretty much in that salad. So make it up through fruit. If you want just a number, I will give you a floor, like the lowest. I would say, I don't even really like doing this, so just realize this is a random number I'm throwing out there. But yeah, I really don't like to see I wouldn't recommend anybody going below 2,000 calories. Now, when I say that, I know there's going to be exceptions, so don't pound me with any possible exceptions. There could be somebody that's very sedentary. There's people, there's all different reasons that it's possible. But I would say for a normal, healthy person trying to get healthier, yeah, I wouldn't go below 2,000 calories. Now, for me, as a 6'2", more or less 155, 160 pound male, I've been shooting for around 3,000. I fall short a little bit. Now, when I went to the States the last time and was weighing myself on a doctor's scale, I felt like for my weight, from using the scale with looking in the mirror, with the way my clothes felt, that I had put on some solid pounds. So that's what I want to see. I don't want to just, if I wanted to, tomorrow I could gain 30 pounds in the next month, but it wouldn't look sloppy, it wouldn't look good. So, I want to, if I'm going to gain any weight by working out and being physical, I want it to be quality weight, I want it to be muscle. So I've tried to shoot, and I think the last 3-month period that I was here in Costa Rica before I went to the States a couple of weeks ago, I think I was pretty good. I think I was probably close around 3,000. Some days I get over 3,000. Now fast forward, I go to the States, and I think I did a video the last day I was leaving the States, and I jumped up on the scale. Well, I had only gained less than a pound, but somehow, I don't know what it was, I got back to Costa Rica and my appetite had really jacked up, pardon the pun, and I was eating like a madman. And to be quite honest, and this is why I want to get to the people that and I don't know, everybody's body's different, so I'm not knocking the people that eat a ton of calories, but I will say this to the people that eat a ton of calories and preach it like it's law. It's not for everybody. Now, I don't know. My body actually has a little bit worried for a few days, and then I've been kind of I cut back down, and I feel okay. there was about 4 or 5 days there where I just felt bigger. I felt kind of bloated, but it wasn't bloated because it wasn't from inside. It wasn't like, you know, I couldn't get stuff out, or I couldn't, I don't know, it didn't feel like gas. It just didn't feel like my insides were bloated. It felt like I'd just kind of gotten fat, or I was retaining water or whatever. My pants did, and I haven't had this in a while, my pants were just the slightest bit I could feel a difference. And my fat was not it was not in what I would consider a heavy range. Could have been in the 15, 16, 17%, but I've gone like that for much longer periods before. So all I can guess is it was upping the calories, and I'd gone a little too far. Maybe I can't, you know, at my physical level right now. Here are these people that eat 5,000 calories a day. I know for a fact I couldn't do that at my physical level. I would definitely have to up the exercise, or I'd get pudgy. Because I don't know, all I was doing differently was eating mostly what I do, which is about anywhere from 25 to 3,000 calories, like normal. But then I got on this kick. I was eating a bowl of ice cream at night, so I was getting about another 1,000 calories in there. So anyhow, I don't know. This is just, I'm getting distracted with this side story. But anyway, I was looking at myself in the mirror. I was like, dude, what is happening with me? I'm getting a little bit. So I've dropped back down to my normal range. Now I did do this too because, you know, I had more fat in the States than I'm comfortable with, and I was still having a good bit of avocado when I first got back from the States. So for, I can't even remember how many days now, maybe about a week, give or take. I've pretty much, I said, okay, I'm going to cut the overt fats out for a while. So I cut the overt fats out, except for there were 2 days there that I found a recipe that was so good. I had some coconut in there. But other than that, I haven't been doing the overt fats. Back down to around 3,000 calories per day. And I seemed to, that little bloat or whatever it was just seemed to go away. The pants are fitting okay, I'm fine. But the moral of the story is you've just really got to take this stuff into your own hands. I really can't stress enough that you have got to learn how to listen to your body. That's way more important than watching videos, than reading about the specifics of the nutrients involved in the food that we're eating. Because you're not going to get it. We're such individual organisms. We do have a lot of things in common, and there are a lot of things that are general, and you do want to learn the generalities. But there's just little quirks in all our bodies that I can't explain. I still don't understand a lot of the things that happen in my body, you know. And I like to, instead of sitting around and being able to talk Mr. Science and tell you, well, the carbohydrates do this and they're long chain fats and the blah, 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 blah. I'm more interested in how it applies to its application. Not the theory, I want the application. I've always been hands-on, application, not a theoretical type person. And for me, that's just the most important part, has been able to learn to advance my intuition, learn to, you know, increase it, make it stronger, learn to listen to it, and learn to trust it. Because you can't, you know, you're not me. I'm sorry, you're not me. Not what I'm doing, you can take some generalities, and I do take a lot of good generalities from people. There's a lot of people out there that I really like what they're doing. Even if they're not necessarily following the same path as me, still I can pull a piece from them that I really like what this person's doing, or I like 90% of what this person's doing, or even maybe I like 60% of what this person's doing, but that 60% I find quite valuable. And that's the process. But as the calorie goes, let's come back to the calorie as I'm going to wind this up. Don't be so caught up in numbers. Don't be so caught up in following the leader. You have to put the work in. If you really want to be successful in this lifestyle, you really are by yourself. You know, we interact, and I love interacting, and sometimes I even want more interaction. I want personal interaction. I like discussion. I like learning. I like reading. But in the end, you're on your own. You're by yourself with this body. You're the only person that's experiencing this particular body at this particular time. And there's generalities, there's things you can learn that apply to most of us, but you're still going to have to hone that intuition. So, with the calories. The number one thing I would say on that though, even more so, if you eat too many, you're going to get fat, and you'll figure that out. And don't, you know, hey, I'm sorry, I don't care what a lot of these people are telling you and the science and whatever they got backing it up. If you look, like what I'm saying is, if you look, gain a few pounds in the beginning, no, don't worry about gaining a few pounds because you're trying to figure out exactly where you need to be. But on the other hand, BS on this. People that they're fooling themselves. They've gained 30, 40, 50 pounds on a raw vegan lifestyle, and they keep telling themselves they're waiting for their body to shift, and all of a sudden, magically, this is going to happen. No, you're not eating right. If you're gaining 20, 30, 40 pounds on a raw vegan lifestyle, sorry. Anybody that wants can argue you're not doing it right. If you gain 10 pounds, that's a different story, but no, not buying that one. But then on the other hand, do not restrict your calories. Do not undereat. I don't know exactly where I stand on the whole metabolic damage thing, but I sure do know you can slow your metabolism down, and I sure know you're not doing yourself any favors by restricting your calories. You're not nourishing your body, and on a raw vegan lifestyle or just on a high carb vegan lifestyle, you're not getting the nutrients that your body needs to survive on if you're restricting calories. So anyhow, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you like it, give me a thumbs up. Hope you'll subscribe to the channel and share it with your friends. One more day, folks. Hang in there. Weekend's almost here. Peace.